In this video, I'm going to show you real-world examples of cars currently advertised as for sale on Auto Trader that pass the Auto Trader history checks, yet still have a hidden past. Several of these cars are available from main franchise dealerships and they show as HPI Clear, they've passed all the checks, blah blah blah. Now despite that, I'm going to show you their hidden past. I'm going to show you the vehicle history report on the car and the evidence that shows what happened to them in their former life. One thing I should say immediately is that I've got no reason to believe that any of the dealers selling the vehicles in this video are aware of this, and I've got no reason to believe that any of them are complicit in any of this. What I can say is, VCheck provided the history checks for me on these cars free of charge, but it would have cost a tenner on each one. And when you're looking at cars that are best part of 30 grand, as one of the cars is in this video, I don't think £10 from the dealer to make sure that what they're selling is what it appears to be is too much to ask, do you? Okay, so the first one we're looking at today is this Ford Fiesta 1.1 Ti VCT Zetec Euro 6 2018 car, 10,914. You'll see it's a good price, which is bang average in fairness. It just means it's not a cheap price. Buying a car online never felt so safe. All checks passed, full history check, all checks passed. There we go, not recorded as stolen, not scrapped, not a write-off, not imported, not exported, no third-party interest, no mileage discrepancies, no colour changes, no outstanding finance, but it does possibly have a recorded plate change. Let's look on this. Issues found, salvage history, that's not good. So let's go down and find out a bit more about that. You'll usually find the road tax is expired because of course the car's with a dealership. If you're buying from a private buyer, it might be a different story. Salvage history, click to view. So let's have a look at this. So on Wednesday 26th of June 2019, it went through a salvage auction. And look at that. So this was the damage to the car. Fairly extensive, as you can see. Look at the state of that front wing. Let's find out a bit more, shall we? Cat S structural write-off. The insurance company have decided not to record it because they don't have to record it. And when you do a standard HPI history check, that's going to show as being completely clean. It's madness, absolute madness. So that car, a Cat S car, should probably be 20 or 30% cheaper when it goes back onto the market, and you should declare it to your insurance company. You can't sell a Cat S car to someone like We Buy Any Car. You might find it difficult to part exchange. So if any of those people do the kind of check that I've just done here in literally 15 seconds, they're going to find out the same thing as you just have. And that's that actually this was a Cat S with structural damage. Fortunately, it hasn't been recorded. So on some of these basic checks, it will appear as clear. But as you can see, it's far from it. Let's have a look at another one, shall we? 2018 Voxel Atom 1.2, 20,000 miles. Again, full history check, all checks passed, all nice and clear. Last checked 20th of Jan 2023. Oh dear, here we go. Issues found. Salvage history and outstanding finance. Now, the outstanding finance is one that you'll often get on these reports, and sometimes it's a bit of a red herring. So let's just have a look at that. So lots of dealerships, particularly large ones, buy something called unit stocking finance. As you can see, that's what we've got here. And it basically is their own finance for the cars that sit on their forecourt. You don't really need to worry about that. If you want to check that the unit stocking finance is being cleared and everything else, you get a contact number on VCheck here and you get the agreement number so you can check it all out for yourself. But it's a very different thing to if you go and buy a private car and you find it's got, Lombard finance against it or something like that, just so you're aware. You should always still check that, but it's not something to be overly concerned about. And then salvage history, here we go. Once again, this one is an unrecorded write-off, Cat S structural write-off. And as you can see, this front section here is completely mangled, and that looks like it's all been pushed back a bit. It's very difficult to tell from these pictures, but again, it looks like it's had a very substantial knock, this one. Nothing wrong with buying a Cat S car, by the way, if it's all been put back together as it should have been, but you should be aware of it. Not everyone wants a Cat S car. There's a video about it up there if you want to check it out, and I'll pin it at the end of this video on the end screen if you want to know more about buying a Cat S or a Cat N. Not always a bad thing, but it's something that some people won't be comfortable with. And if you are comfortable with it, you should be getting a heavy discount for it. Right, let's find one that's had a good old-fashioned haircut, shall we? This one's a 2-litre diesel VW Touran, £6,900. DSG automatic, Euro 5, 103,000 miles on this one. It's only had the basic history check, but it's passed all that. Not recorded as stolen, not recorded as scrap, not an insurance write-off, not imported, not exported. Let's have a look at this. Oh, there's more to it actually. Ex-taxi, police or NHS search has got one. Salvage history has got one, and mileage records have got one. So let's have a look at this. This is a real can of worms, isn't it? Right, where are we? Salvage history. So we can go into that, and September 2018, it was a Cat N non-structural. So these are often fairly minor damage, or can be fairly minor damage, but it tends to be cosmetic damage rather than anything structural. So this is sort of the lowest level of write-off, if you like. As you can see, it's had a fair amount of damage all over it, but obviously not structural. We've got a second row here. So it went through one auction, September 2018, then another one, December 2020, and it's used unrecorded. I think it's probably just gone through this one because of this. Mileage discrepancies been indicated on HPI NMR check database. Voxel MOT database. So it's probably end up going through the salvage auction because someone's got hold of this and realised it's been clocked and it's been recorded as being clocked, and they've stuck it through a salvage auction again. Oh, so it was used as a taxi. Okay. So VW Touran, transport for London. It was used as a taxi from 2016 to 2018. 6 former keepers. So let's have a look at the mileage. This is the big bit here. So we've got one very early on in the car's life, 20,000 miles in 2015, 14,000 miles in 2016, and then 68,000 miles nearly 10 months later. And then if we go down here, you'll see it goes in 2018, it goes from 170,000 miles to 71,000 miles, and then go up to 2020. And since 2020, this car's done 40 miles. So this one is obviously, it's had a massive haircut at that point, even more severe than my haircut, that one. It's had a little bit of something going on there. I mean, that could have even been an error or something, but it's odd. And then this again is completely suspicious when a car has done 39 miles in the last couple of years. It seems highly unlikely, doesn't it? Highly unlikely. Fair enough if the car hasn't been used, but it's been MOT'd, which suggests it has been in use. I'd be very, very suspicious of that. I think this car's potentially had 3 haircuts on the mileage in its short life, and that is just unbelievable. Next one's BMW 2 Series Active Tourer. This is the XE M Sports. This is the plug-in hybrid one, the 225 XE. Quite popular, you might think. And this is from the retail Renault group, Renault Croydon. So this is a franchised Renault dealership. It's only got the basic history check on it, so not recorded as stolen, scrapped, write-off, blah, blah, blah. However, you guessed it, it's been a write-off. So let's have a look at this one. This was July 2021. It went through a sale in Rochford, Cat S structural write-off. Look at that. That's had a good old whack. Just remember, folks, as we're looking at these pictures, this is a car that is being sold for full retail value. It's not even been sold cheap. This is a car that's over 20 grand, and this has happened to it. But it should be 20 or 30% less than it is. And it's not. You should not be paying 20 grand, over 20 grand, for a car that had that in its history. You know, if it was shown as a Cat S, a previous Cat S, that car would probably be 16 grand, 15 grand, 17 grand maybe at a push. It's just wrong. And there are some people that just fundamentally don't want a car that they know has been involved in a big accident. And then we've got this Mercedes-Benz CLA. Look at this one, 27.5 grand. The car looks absolutely beautiful. Certainly on the face of things, it appears to be in very good nick. No issues with that at all. Loving the look of that. Great price, 27,500 quid. It's a 2020 1.3 CLA 200 AMG line. This one's got the full history check against it. Again, nothing but green ticks. This is from Auto Trader in partnership with Experian. Nothing but green ticks on that. All looks good. First words on the ad, HPI Clear, which of course it is. However, let's have a look at this. Oh dear, it says salvage history again. Right, let's have a look at the damage. Used unrecorded. So it doesn't say if this was a Cat S or a Cat N or anything else. Just look at the state of it. It's had a very, very decent whack, this one. Look at the state of that bumper. Transmission's gone into teaching mode, which I guess is some sort of reaction to what's happened. And you see the thing just absolutely folded in, as it's designed to do. All the airbags have gone off by the looks of it. That has had a very nasty little knock, ladies and gents. And let's just remind you that that car is available for £27,500 with loads of green ticks against it, and the first words in the advert is HPI Clear. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. They're allowed to do that. The insurance companies don't have to register it. I don't know why. The DVLA and the other various bodies have been aware of this issue for quite a long time. I've done previous videos on it. My partner on this, VCheck, have done all sorts of press around this. They've appeared on shows on Channel 4, all sorts of stuff, and nobody is taking any action over it whatsoever. We are not going to change this, all right? VCheck have put tons of effort into trying to get this thing changed. It's not going to happen. What we can do is make sure we don't become victim of it, and we do that by getting a VCheck, okay? So you'll see lots of other YouTubers advertising other car history check companies. No problem with any of them. They tend to be more expensive than the one that I show you here. Use my link in the video description. Costs you a tenner for the absolute full level of VCheck, and I can't recommend it highly enough, really. This is one of these videos that I want as many people as possible to see. So it needs you to give it some thumbs up. It needs you to share it wherever you can on your social media and what have you. And it really needs you to get involved, leave a comment, do whatever you can, please. And if you found this video useful, I strongly recommend my own book. It's called Buying a Used Car in the UK. Avoid scams and find the best deals. It's available on Amazon. You can get it absolutely free. So it's £6.99 in paperback or £3.95 on Kindle. But if you use the link in the video description, it will take you straight to it on Amazon. But you can also do the Kindle Unlimited free trial. That means you get to read the book completely free. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it useful. It's only sort of 60 pages or something. It's not a weighty tome, so it shouldn't take you too long to get through. It's got some really useful checklists and things, and hopefully helps you avoid some of the things that you've seen in this video. Thanks again for watching, folks. I'll see you next time.